Starting this video off pretty much where the last one ended. So if you missed the last video, I decided to not use these front rails, front subframe, whatever you want to call it, after spending all the time making these. Not that there's anything wrong with them. They fit, it's fine, everything's good. I like them, but just because it's good doesn't mean it can't be better. So that's the plan with these ones right here. Basically doing the same thing for the front little sections here, just some small improvements. So I got this bar in here that have some 5/8 by 11 nuts on there that are squared off on the side there. And then I just got some 3/16 flat stock going underneath it. And then these are gonna be for the K-member bolts. So the way this works, these will just slide up through here. This will get pressed up against the top. I use the bolts to tighten them, kind of cinch them up to this bottom piece of metal. You can see that's what it'll look like right there. I'll go through, plug weld up all those holes, grind them smooth, and then it'll look just like that when it's done. This is by far the part that takes the most time and is probably the most difficult, trying to figure out exactly how to make all these pieces here fit in a template. So this is just a quick resketch of what these rails were. Obviously I don't have the curved pieces or anything in here, but this allowed me to get some base measurements to then transfer it to the new layout here. So what I really want to do on this one, and some of the, I guess, bigger changes from this piece are here. I'll go ahead and explain, because some people were confused why I decided to redo it all. So number one, if I were to take this and weld this here to the mid rails, that would put another joint right here, and then I have this joint on an angle right here for this first curved piece. Now if I just take this curved piece right here and angle that and put this right up to the mid rail, that's one less joint that I have to worry about. You know, the other joint would have been back there if I would have attached the old front rails to that. So that makes it stronger. The other thing I really wanted to do is when I get this mocked up here, I really wanted to have an even gap. It's gonna be hard with one hand here, but I got a nice 3/8 gap between the floor and the frame rail all the way around. That's what I really wanted, because these notches here, or these ribs, whatever you want to call them, go down 3/8 of an inch. So then it can clear on the bottom of the floor right there. So that'll give me that. It follows the exact contour of the floor. And then I also wanted to raise them up another inch. So now overall they'll be 3 inches higher than the factory rails. And then instead of having this go on a 4.5 degree angle, just like these ones were, which the factory ones were, I opted to go on a little bit less. It's right now a 3.8, 3.9 degrees, so not like a whole lot crazier, but enough to make it where from the side profile it doesn't look like this thing is kind of shooting upwards. So basically what I did is from the back of this to the ground and the front of the rail to the ground, there's supposed to be a 3-inch difference. That's what I measured on the factory rails a while back. And I just moved that down to a 2-inch difference, which got me right to that 3.8 degrees there. So Now that this is all figured out here, it was a lot of work to think and measure everything out and get it all situated. I can go through and basically take this piece here, line it up in the template, take the front rail right here, line this up in the template, line this mark up with the center of the first bolt hole with this, which is 22 3/8 away from the front of the lip on the floor here. And then I'll just have to make this piece fit that like so, and figure out how I have to cut that now. Working on making the plates now for the inside of the rails. Got these ones all wrapped up. These are, which ones are these guys? I think these are the second ones. No, these are the third ones here, which means they go on the top. So got those all dialed. These ones are gonna be the ones that go from the bottom here to the mid rails. So slide them there, and then same thing for this top piece. From this top piece to this piece, and then they'll go from this. And then this will go on the mid rails. So in order to get them all square, I'm using the good old trick here of just clamping them together. You can see getting them all dialed on each side right there, because they're a little bit off when I cut them. Not exactly perfect, but then I'll take the template, get one situated, lay that on top, and then just make the other ones match to that. So got a few more to go here. You can start mocking these up on the rails. Got all the frame rail pieces drilled out, beveled on the ends. Those look good. Got all the plates cut out. So we got 4 of each style here. Those will all go in between there, obviously. That's all gonna look good, and that's gonna be plenty strong between those plug welds and then the actual welds going in between them there. So these are ready to be welded up right now. One other thing I wanted to point out is that this one here will be the driver's side. This one will be the passenger side. And you can see this seam from where this tube gets welded together is on the inside there. So when I made all these, made sure that the seam on these as well stays on the inside and on the bottom. So I got them all labeled what side goes with what. And then whatever doesn't get plated, if I decide not to plate the outside, basically the opposite I did with this, what I'll do is I'll weld over this, because as you can see, I mean, it's not a crazy divot, but it's definitely noticeable. I'll weld over that and smooth it down, which is the same thing I did on these guys right here. so far this seems to be working actually pretty good. I got about half the plates welded up. I got the ones in the mid rails all welded on, and then I'm starting at the top here. So as you can see, those pieces slide on just like that. Gap aligns good all the way around. I am happy with that. This way, those plates, since they're so sandwiched tight up in there, to hit them with a mallet to get it all situated. But that keeps everything aligned going this way, and it keeps the plates aligned side to side right there. So one less thing I have to worry about when actually welding these all together, because I know those are all going to be aligned. So I'll get the rest of these plates welded up in these guys, and then what I think the plan is I'm going to grind one side with spot welds down flat, lay it all on the template, double, triple check, make sure everything looks good, then lay the other rail on top of the one laying on the template, double, triple check everything. I'll tack it all together through the spot welds on the floor, then pull them up here, and then finalize all the spot welds. That was an absolute ton of work. I mean, I am a mess. The floor is a mess. The bench here is also just a mess. Everything's a mess, but these aren't. These look beautiful now. Oh gosh, there we go. Those are as smooth as can be. Everything is lined up, dialed in, perfectly straight, square, level. Took a lot of time just to get to that point, but last thing I'll need to do is obviously weld up these joints right here. Can't even tell there was plug welds anywhere. So I'll get to that tomorrow. I gotta go get some more gas to do that. But there's both of those. Those look good. Get those welded up tomorrow, and then with any luck, be able to toss them on the mid rails here and see what it finally looks like after all this work. So excited to see that. Was going to try to finish welding up those front rails tonight, but ran out of argon, and apparently the welding store isn't open on the weekends. I don't know why you wouldn't have a welding store open on the weekend, but whatever, is what it is. So I'm still gonna try to get a video up tomorrow, which is Sunday. Been trying to keep that up over the past few weeks here. Decided to go ahead and just kind of clean everything out and mock the whole, I guess, what frame rails are started here up with the rear end. I haven't seen this thing in a while. It's been tucked in that back corner there. Also went ahead and just threw the QA1K member on, kind of mocked it up with some tires, and now I can visually see how these frame rails are gonna look and just kind of where it's sitting, where the center of the wheel is gonna line up on the frame rail. So nice to see all that for, what is this? It's the first time I've seen everything all together. So other than that, just cleaning out the rest of the unit, reorganizing. Got the car outside for the first time in, geez, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months now. So looking sad, but whatever. Got the bumper out there. Forgot how cool that thing looks. Once again, all this stuff was just tucked back in the corner and kind of, I don't know, I knew I had it, but it's neat to see it again, I guess. I'll hop back on the front rails, finish those up. Probably not this week, but the following week, because I'm headed out to MPMC this week, which very excited. I've been looking forward to that for a while, and then when I get back from that, it is right back to this thing. So I want to get the front rails done, all welded up, get this all as one piece, all welded together. Then once that's situated, I'm thinking I'm going to start cutting out the rear section on the back of the Charger here and start planning out what the heck is gonna go on in this section here. That's the plan going forward for probably the next, I don't know, maybe month or so. Just keep hammering away on this chassis here. So appreciate everyone watching, supporting over these videos here, and we'll just keep on keeping on.